I would like to ask the 4 British champions up on the stage, along with Hayley.
I'm right here.
Right, and perhaps if we can get 4 chairs up here. Bring a chair, boys, bring a chair. Yeah, that's it. Right, bring a chair. Right, so we're going to ask her some questions. We've got Hayley, we've got Leon, we've got Sam, we've got Drew, we've got the 2-time European and British under-21 champion Robert Lambert. So please, anyone that wants to ask a question, stick a hand up. We're all positive, no negative questions tonight.
Don't
so
forget,
come on.
John Armstrong's sat over here as
John. Come on, John. Come on, John Armstrong. Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend of British Speedway, John Armstrong. Testimonial, 22nd of April.
Leon, believe our opening fixtures are against you. Just take it easy on me, will you?
Well, you'll probably get my arse handed to you.
Oh, we've got Mr. Andy, he's from Scunny. Your best Scunny accent, Andy.
Which do you boys prefer riding? Floodlit Speedway or daytime Speedway?
This is a question to each of them.
Okay, I'm going to hand the microphone down the line, guys.
Nighttime for me, I just think it's a better atmosphere.
What's the best track you've ridden at under lights, Leon?
Probably Prague, but probably say it's my worst meeting like it.
I'd rather do it in day because there's normally a lot of accidents and stuff, so.
What's your favourite track, Sam?
Torrent.
Oh, Torrent. Good choice. The 2-time European and British under-21 champion Robert Lambert.
Yeah, I think the night time and the floodlights. More atmosphere. It's, it's more cosy.
So, Robert, in your very short career so far, what's been your proudest moment today?
It's been a few, you know, but yeah, probably to be standing on the podium when we got 2nd place in the World Cup. That was one of the proudest moments, and also to ride at Cardiff. That was great. Until Jason came under me and we all.
To be honest, ladies and gentlemen, we haven't even discussed that tonight. It's all been about junior speedway, but we've almost bypassed that Robert rides for the senior Great Britain squad. And again, at 18 years old, imagine that feeling, being stood on the rostrum with a silver medal, riding for a senior Great Britain at 18 years old. Yeah, what a feeling that is, isn't it? So, does that deserve a round of applause? Well done, Rob.
I definitely prefer daytime because it's easier. Yeah, nighttime I find it a lot harder because obviously it's, I don't know where the dirt is and there's a lot of shade there.
So what's been your best meeting so far, Drew, that stands out?
Well, obviously winning the British Youth at Glasgow, and also when I raced at Milnor the last meeting, when it was 16 plus 1 I scored against Eastbourne.
Wow. Well done, good lad. Right, Mr. Armstrong, in your 20-odd year career, what's been your biggest highlight?
Oh, wow.
There's a question.
Wow.
Is it coming to Nuneaton Spirit Supporters Club for the British Youth Riders?
For me, it's well, it's been so many, you know. We had the season when we had the clean sweep with Beldenal, you know, and every one of them finals, it was good, you know, in 2004. When I won at the time, it was a CLRC and what have you, you know. There's just been so many eyes, but do you know what? I can't believe I've just sat here and I've just listened to these telling me where their favourite tracks are. I've only been on holiday in places. I've never had a chance to ride abroad, you know. when I was a youngster, to get the chance to ride abroad and what have you, you lot just need to go out there and grab it with both hands.
Well done, John. Yeah, well done.
That's an excellent question. We've got another one at the back over there, sir. What is your question?
Just come on, sir, just come on.
Neil's running with the microphone.
I feel like Anna Rice.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Robert if he's going to do the GP challenges and what plans he's got to get into the Grand Prix before it's too late.
Well, that's something which is a little bit out of my hands. You know, I'm not the one who picks the riders to go into the GP qualifiers. So that's down to, who's it down to, Neil?
Roscoe.
Righto. So that depends. You know, who he thinks is on form in the season. So, you know, when I have a good start to the season, then, you know, obviously I can get into the qualifying rounds. I made it to the final, not last year, year before. And obviously seeing how much of a challenge that was, you know, that's, the semi-finals is not so bad, but the final, when all the top boys, you know, all of them can be in the GPs. And, you know, to be against them is a tough thing. And that sort of knocked me back a little bit, and I said last season, he asked me if I wanted to be in it, and I said, you know, I'm not quite ready yet to be in it. So, you know, last year I said, you know, give it to someone else who would want it. But this year, you know, I've been training for it and wanting it. So, if you give me the chance this year and ask me, then definitely I'll take it with both hands.
Come on, Roscoe, give Robert a chance. Just following on to that question. Again, probably the VSPA get a fair bit of stick on a daily basis, but we have been pushing for these guys to get more and more experience in Europe. As Mr. Armstrong just said, they've got more opportunities than they've ever had before, and I don't know whether this has been well documented or not. We've been pushing for us guys, as in British riders, to ride in the SEC, which is the European Championship, and we've been banging the door. Can we send riders? 2018, we are entering the European Championship, qualified. So, and this is our little secret in this room. I did give Robert a little bit of a nudge, saying, "Rob, we're in the European qualifiers. Try and get yourself in it," because you know, next to the Grand Prix, which is obviously a real tough competition to get in, you know. Wouldn't it be good to see, you know, Robert or Stephen Worrell, you know, Brodie Cookie's got enough on his plate, but, you know, some of these guys, again, on Eurosport or, you know, competing against the best of Europe in another great competition. So we will have the opportunity this year, and we seem to get more and more places in these competitions. So, you know, besides all the negative talk, we do have some positive as well. So, as well as the Grand Prix qualifiers, hopefully we'll be getting some rides in the European Championship.
I think if anyone's got any sense looking at what these guys are doing, Neil, I think they'd be daft to not have these guys. I mean, we all saw what Robert was capable of doing last year. Stevie Worrell, as you said, I think, always he described it as his best last place in the final, but what a performance he put in. You know, these guys are 20, 25 years old, still very young in the grand scheme of things, especially when you look at the likes of Greg Hancock, getting on for nearly 50 years old very soon, and you could argue he's got another 20 years in him. So I think, you know, if they've got any sense, they would definitely have these guys snap their hand off to do it.
That's a good point, Hayley. And like, in my experience, you know, travelling around, we had a real busy year last year, you know, because of the success. And you obviously talk to people, and even though, you know, in fairness, I will probably exclude Poland. Poland are probably a different league than everyone else, but, you know, regards to the other nations, we are certainly right up there with them. And yeah, we beat Germany, didn't we? Yeah. But bit of a true story. We was out in Sweden during the summer for a under 21 qualifier, and a rider that you might have heard of, or an ex-rider that you might have heard of, Hans Nielsen, was staying in the same hotel as me. And this is a true story. He actually come up and asked me, you know, the 4, 5, 6 dozen times world champion, what is the secret behind Britain producing so many good young riders these days? And he totally said that off his own back. I was a bit gobsmacked when he said that, but that just goes to prove that it's not just us that's banging the door. I think the rest of Europe can see what we are doing now. So again, it's all credit to you guys. So well done again. All right, let's have some more questions.
Actually, I have a question for Robert as
Oh,
well.
hey, wants a question.
Robert, you went on record just recently on SpeedwayGP.com saying that you wanted more support for not just, the World Cup squad, but the British Speedway youngsters in particular. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that for us?
I don't think there's enough support given from the federations to the youngsters. I don't think the money is going in the right places. Some places that's going in their pockets, but it should go to the youngsters and the riders who's coming through. Some young lads are not lucky enough to have parents who's got some money or whatever to help the sons or the daughters, to try and do the sport. And that's what I think needs to change. Like Neil, everything he gets, he puts into it. He's got a great evening alongside you guys at the back, and this is more things that needs to be happening. Everyone's not lucky to have rich parents and give them new bikes and stuff. They have to do it the hard way, and some people just need some good equipment under them, and because they got the talent. And I was fortunate enough that my parents give everything on the line, and drove me every weekend to Germany or whatever, and pretty much nearly lost the roof over our heads to try and get me into the sport, and that's obviously paid off, and now I'm getting obviously paid to race, and that's still hard. It's even harder than what it was when I was going over to Germany. It was everything was given to me, but now I need to pay out myself. I've got starting living with my girlfriend and having to pay for things, and that's definitely much different. And it's obviously hard, and some guys, young lads here, wouldn't understand that, and I just think there needs to be more put
Back to the Brits.
Yeah, basically back to the Brits, and hopefully if I can get time in my busy schedule to come along to some of these under 16 rounds, I'll definitely come along and give you guys a hand.
Wow. Here we go, what a great name, I love this name, Freddie Fox Barron.
What's the best advice anyone has given you?
To everybody, that one, Freddie? Best advice then, guys. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Mine would have to be when Greg Hancock came over to me after I had a really tough meeting at Prague for the World Final. He just came over to me, off his own back, and it was like we was talking just as mates, and it's people like him that's so down to earth. It's just so easy to get on with. But after that meeting, he was like, just you need to go back down to a base. You need to have a base. So your career's not always going to go like that. It's always going to be a roller coaster. But every time it comes down, you need to go back to your base and start off from there. So
Probably just from my dad, saying don't just start off on these massive tracks and stuff. Just start I basically, for my first 2 or 3 years, I was just constantly riding that mini track, and it helped because I was on 50s CC on grass track, and that helped my foot control. So I feel like that's probably what really helped me in the British final and stuff. And along with Harry, did what I did. Just because it was so bad conditions, you needed throttle control. So obviously not let it go around.
I must say, ladies and gentlemen, what Sam's talking about at Bellevue, where he went to Bellevue in October for the British 125 final, he absolutely lashed it down all night. Strange out in Manchester, right? But the boys just got on with it, they did a great job, and all credit to them.
And just say it was actually sunny in Manchester today, so we don't always get rain, Neil.
Well, there's been a lot of people sort of trying to give me advice over the years, and it's a hard one to say what the best advice. Probably one to try and keep your feet on the ground. You know, when even if you have a good meeting, you're never at the top. You know, there's always more to go, and don't let yourself get too big-headed. You just got to. Also, you've got to have a bit of swagger about you, but at the same time, you just need to go about your stuff and try and race the bike to your best ability and do your talk on the track as such. And that's it.
Well, probably my best advice is from my granddad. He constantly keeps telling me to look and learn and watch what he does. So everything he does, I'm always watching, and whenever he does something wrong, I always correct him and tell him to look and learn and see what I do.
One of the advice to youngsters here, you probably see my mum is always videoing, and she's got, since I first started on a PW50 when I was 3 years old, she's got every single video from a cassette player or whatever it is to a digital camera, you know. She's taken every single video, and I'd advise any mums there who come along to the Speedway to video your son and capture the progress, and also watch it back as well, because even when you're on the bike you can't see yourself how you're riding, and I think I've learned a lot from watching back videos of when I've rode, and that's one of the key things. You can see if you made a mistake, or if you can see you've done something good, or you passed someone well, you know how to do it. You can always learn from yourself. Always take something from yourself.
Okay, I've just got John Armstrong here. What about one piece of advice to give the boys, John?
Well, Robert's touched on a good one there. I've always said, keep a level head and what have you. But one of the biggest things for me is make sure you've got a lot of respect for one another. Because at the end of the day, these machines are lethal. And you've got to have complete respect with each other, lots of trust. I do over the years. I've heard so many lads that have spoke about, I'm going to hang him, I'm going to put him through here and there and what have you. You can't go doing stuff like that. You're all racing there together. You all want to be earning a living tomorrow and the day after. You don't need to be sat on the sidelines for 6 months, 12 months, because you're not learning nothing or earning nothing at that point. So it's just have respect for one another. And
well done, John, thank you. Good bit of advice. Just very briefly, just something that we perhaps touched on earlier is that the bit of advice that I always tend to give is that is to keep hydrated. You never stop learning. As we said earlier, you never ever stop learning, so always keep trying and improving. And also, on a good day, enjoy the good days, because it's not always that good. So when it is good, enjoy it. Any other? Right. Oh, Leon's got a question. Let's see what Mr. Blink has to say.
What's your impressions for this year?
Probably retain my title, European again, score good in that. World for the first time could be a good experience. Obviously I went and watched Harry last year, so I'll go well until they don't be good. And so just carry on what I've done, work on my fitness mainly, and never stop trying.
Every year I set a goal to try and find my average in the leagues, and just try and better my league racing, and also on the international stage as well, to try and get as much silverware as possible, because as you know, you never know what you can win, and that goes through last season. I didn't even realise I was going to win them 2 titles, and yeah, for sure, obviously to qualify to the GPs would be a great achievement, and I think one goal for all Brits is to be British champions, so try and get back that British Under 21 championship, and also try and get past Cookie as well.
This year I'd really like to do one of my first year National League. Got a lot of good support behind me, like Andy at Portal and Lee at Sport British Speedway, and with all their help, I really, I just want to do one of my first year and get the name out there.
What about you though, Leon? You've not answered your own question there. What are your ambitions for this year?
Mine would be to start off with to hopefully win the 500s this year, so I could say I'm 150, 250 and 500 champion. Just with the National League as well, just to try and, you know, I mean I always give my best, but just hopefully I could maybe, you know, get a bit of a higher average and just, like Drew said, get my name up, you know, out there a bit more. Yeah.
Okay, well done. Any other questions from the floor? Oh, who's this here that wants? What's your name, Sal?
Probably. How much do you think sponsors help in all your career and stuff like that?
I think, you know, without sponsors, you know, it's a really hard game. It's all about how, you know, you propose yourself, how, you know, kind you are, you know, how, you know, you give yourself out. I mean, when I started off riding, I didn't really put myself out there as much as I maybe should have. But, you know, it comes to a point where you actually, you know, you need money, you know, you need the backing. Yeah, I'm at that point now, and you know, I've got a guy doing all my websites and stuff, and you know, it costs money, but at the end of the day, I'm sure, you know, you'll get a lot more back from what you give, and again, it just gets you know, your name out there, and yeah, just the backing that you need, really.
Well, there's 100%, like you said, you know, it's a big part of the sport, and to be fair, if it wasn't for the sponsors, I wouldn't be able to race, and you know, it's very tricky, you know, to get sponsors, and you know, it's more harder now with the economy and everything, you know, with things that's going on. But you know, obviously, yeah, I couldn't do it without the sponsors, and that's played a big part since I started, and you know, obviously the sport is very expensive, and you know, they don't. People who watch from behind the fence don't understand like what your parents put into the sport, and you know, not just at the track, but behind the scenes as well, like in the workshop, they're travelling up and down the country as well, and you know, in the vans and stuff, and you know, now obviously some lads here travelling abroad, and every little thing it costs money, you know, you turn a wheel and that costs money, you know, and obviously the sponsors. You know, the more sponsorship you can get, obviously, the better equipment you can get. And I think when I first started Kingston, I got one new engine, and that cost me £3,500. And now I've ordered 2 new engines, and that's cost me £13,000. So you know, 6.5 each. That's ridiculous, you know, and that's for the top engine tuner. The same engine tuner that Doyley's got, so hopefully I can. But yeah, no, it's you know, it's a big difference when you're taking the steps up. The sport gets more expensive, and obviously you need to back out all the sponsorship. And yeah, I've realised that now. You know, I had to start the base 2 years ago in Poland. You know, it was a big setup. I needed to get 2 of everything. And, you know, that's not just the bikes. You need obviously toolbox and you know sprockets and everything. You know, you need spare parts. You know, van, and you know, and also a mechanic out there, you know, to do all the driving and stuff, and you know, it's a big step to go abroad, and you know, obviously the sponsorship behind you, you know, is the main thing to get you over there, and that's also where the funding come in from, you know, the federation as well, you know, the SBA, and obviously Neil here is, you know, helping as well, like, you know, the things, so yeah, it's very money oriented sport.
So if there's any millionaires out there on the floor tonight, please step forward. Drew, just want to quickly answer that one?
Yeah, my sponsors really helped with my Speedway. But Andy at Speedport helping out with my media page, which go live in a couple of days, and the help from my mum and my dad and my granddad is great, and everything that I do is helps me out a lot, and yeah, keeps me on track.
Okay, right. Oh,
Well,
sorry, Sam.
they help a lot, obviously. When you go at our age, you still got your parents and stuff having to pay for most of it, but they help with little stuff like going abroad, like ATPI help us with that, and just some little things like KN and giving us airflow is just chipping it out and just from the crowd help. And obviously you're never gonna be at your age, you're never gonna be not spending any money on your but I guess it'll
Good old mum and dad. Yeah, that's it. Right, okay guys, we're just going to ask one last question to each of them, and then we got a raffle, if anyone else has. We got an auction, and then we'll probably come to the end of the evening. But right, so one last question for all of them. Right, Robert Lambert, right, picture the scene. We're riding the World Under 21 final, round 1. First race wins it. Second race wins it. Third race makes a start. Some nasty polecat T-bones you on the first bend. What's going through your mind, Rob?
Well, a lot of pain at first, but I was kind of an injury going into it, but it was a world stage and you try and put it behind you. But I was, I felt like pulling out of the meeting. I was in so much pain, and obviously my wrist was broken on the skateboard, and I felt like pulling out of the meeting. One bike was completely written off, and I had the mechanics there, and he wanted to change the engine over, and obviously Neil was there, and wiping stuff down, and helping out as what he could, and keeping hydrated.
Keep the fluids on board.
But yeah, that's sort of a very mind over matter sort of thing. I wanted to pull out, but I continued on and kept on racing, and went out on my second bike and got a win. But
Right now. Okay, question for Drew here. Right, Drew. We go to Bellevue. We've only got Cole Bickley, who started the season tremendously, riding in the British Youth Championship. Doesn't phase Drew Kemp. Misses the start of the final. Bickley's in front. Thatcher's standing there thinking job done. Kemp's got different ideas. Only passed Bickley down the back straight to look like he's going to win the final at Bellevue. And then what happens, Drew?
A snap primary chain. I haven't quite a lot this season. I think I went through so many. We were trying to find what the problem was, and I think that it turned out to be a bent frame in the end. But I was so angry about what happened. That, like I said, I just learned from it and moved on, and just made more determined to win the British Championship, and made me realise that I could do it.
Okay, well done, Drew. One last question for Mr. Flint down in there. We're in the Czech Republic. It's a European final. We got a chance to make the rostrum. You need to, I believe it was a win, Leon, wasn't it? Yeah. I think you had to win your last race. He's chasing to win his last race. Some dirty Dane comes up the inside. Was it? Oh, some dirty polecat comes up the inside. Watch out, Mr. Flint. What's going through your mind?
Well, I won't hit him at first, but
It's a family show, Leon. Everything's positive.
yeah, I mean, I was just, so angry because, any rider here can tell when they're going to pass someone, and I had it all lined up, and then that happened. I was like, oh well, and then I just tried to keep my composure, and I mean, I was pretty sore after it. Luckily my granddad and my dad did a great job getting the bike ready for the rerun, and I don't know, I think it was just nerves, and I had such, you know, I had so much.
It's all good character building, though.
I felt so much pressure on us, and I rode so hard, and I think that's what devastated me the most. And I mean, you know, Neil was great, like, he's probably the best person to have there, cheering you up and cheering you up. And like Robert says, keeping you hydrated. And I could, well, in the outcome I didn't manage to do it, but on the way home I kind of thought to myself, 5th year isn't really that bad for my 2nd year in it, and being, you know, one of the youngest there.
14 years old, comes 5th in Europe. I reckon that's quite good, don't you? Right, Sam, one last question for you. It's a Friday night in Manchester. It's lashing down with rain. We've just about managed to scrape through to the final of the British Championship. Harry McGirt is unbeaten in the meeting. Chooses gate 3. What a beauty. Sam McGirt's next choice. What should he take? He takes gate 2. Right, okay, so we'll set the start. It's pouring down with rain. We've got rain on the goggles. Sam McGirt makes the start. He's coming down the second bend. He must have a look over his right shoulder, surely. And what do you see?
Well, I didn't really actually think. I just looked forward and up at best. So I got out of the gate and realised no one was in front of me. I thought they'd be next to me, and there was. So I moved wide.
And it was only Harry.
Yeah.
It's a bit harsh.
Then coming down the back straight, I saw his front wheel. Then coming into the 3rd corner, I thought if this was just an amateur meeting, I'd probably let him go, but I couldn't be having that, so there was a couple of arguments after it, and then I ring my race and then get on to the 2nd lap, and still just hoping for best that he don't come. But I was obviously worried that he was going to come and hit me, obviously, or anything.
I bet he did the next day. Not only the 4 British champions, everyone here, mums and dads, all the riders, 125s, 250s, 500, mums and dads put in a great effort. Nunning Speedway Supporters Club, Hayley, who's done a fantastic job to get the keys yet. Everyone for attention, give it up. Quick Speedway, they're back to Brits.
Just before something else, I don't think anyone in this room actually realises how much Neil, you know, how much effort he puts in for, you know, all 4 of us, you know, everyone in the room, and I just think, well, no one here particularly, but some people take him for, you know, for granted. And
if anyone wants to give me some money on it.
yeah, but I just think he really deserves, you know, a round of applause for all his effort.
Okay, right, thanks guys. Alright, the 4 British champions, we give them a last round of applause for Leon Flint, Sam McGirt, Robert Lambert, Drew Kemp. Well done guys.